Alright folks, welcome to the dawn of world sports. I am the Donfather and I'm just going to quickly be talking about what to expect this week from the channel. I appreciate I was quiet last week. I have been covering an awful lot of the AFL. It started back up, round 2 there started on Thursday. So I've had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the live footy. I've been doing loads of reviews, reactions to stuff on the weekend's footy, and all my other stuff that I do with that. So now, NHL related, I'll be looking at doing a couple of reactions. First and foremost, I want more details on how the NHL playoff system works because I'm absolutely confused by it, and I know that it's probably confusing for most people right now as to what is actually happening, because there's talks of hubs and camps and everything. All different teams are going to be going into, because of obviously the COVID-19 situation. Dates when it's going to start back up again, I do not know. So somebody actually asked my opinion on what I think of the playoffs. All I can say is I'm still not too sure how the whole thing works. But the more I know, if you can help me with this, folks, I would be delighted, because it's something that, as I say, I'm not absolutely familiar with to make too much of a comment on, but I'm certainly interested to learn a lot more about in the coming few months, as we'll be getting our teeth into the live games starting back up again. Also, I'm doing a reaction to the Good Friday Massacre, Montreal, Quebec, from years ago. So I'm looking forward to that one. I think it was an all-in brawl, a bit of a yard sale going on, so you know how much I love that. Be covering different players, etc. I've actually been having a laugh to myself, because most people that watch reactions from me know that I'm only learning the sport. But you know that if you've been watching the channel for a wee while now, or if you've been watching any of my other channel, you'll know that I'm genuine, and I try my best to learn as much as I possibly can about the sports. Obviously, reactions are how I come about enjoying the sport, and then after that I'm looking into expanding further from that. But certainly, I try my best to learn as much as possible about the sport as well. So on that, any comments that are most comments are positive. Any comments from people in the comments section, negative ones, you know what I mean? If you don't like something, swipe on, don't watch it. No point in being bad-mannered about the stuff, because the chances are, if me and you were sat down beside each other, you probably wouldn't say anything to me. So just, if you don't like something, scroll on, no need to be rude. And what I will say is, though, bearing in mind the history of Scots in Canada, for anybody who sees my titles, obviously Soccer Fan Reacts, first and foremost, I know soccer fans act like pussies. I know there's tough guys that play soccer as well. I know that there's a lot of cheating goes on in soccer, and most soccer fans don't like that. I want to set that straight. But for anybody who thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to NHL at all, then fair enough, you're entitled to that opinion. But as I've said already, I'm keen to learn as much about this sport and give you better reviews and better in-depth discussions about things that are happening when it actually comes back up the playoffs. I'm looking to give more at an increased level of content when the playoffs come around. So as I say, I'm looking to improve and expand my knowledge of the sports. I can do that. So for anybody who's saying you don't know what you're talking about, soccer fans, blah blah blah, don't be rude. Also on that one, somebody says you do not know what rivalries are. Soccer fans, you don't know what a rivalry is. Real fights, real hits, real sport. One thing I will say, want to set the record straight on this one as well. I actually had a laugh to myself, because bearing in mind I'm from Scotland, probably one of the nations who immigrated to Canada were probably at the forefront of the game of hockey being created back then. We had a huge part to play in that. But also, when you're talking about rivalry in sport, I don't think you get much bigger than a rivalry that we actually have in Scotland. There's not many in the world that could be quite as fierce, culturally fierce, deep-rooted hatred between two sporting clubs is what you've got in Glasgow between Rangers and Celtic, the old firm. So when you say that I don't know about rivalry, get your facts straight. If you're going to throw out abuse, get your facts straight, and we'll have a proper discussion about it, because rivalry is absolutely huge in Scotland, and it's far more deep-rooted than just sport. That's all I'll say on that. I don't want to get into it too much, but anyway, enough of that. I enjoy the positive feedback that I get. I get a lot of good positive feedback, and I don't want to let the negative ones take centre stage. So thanks very much to everybody who's been watching and supporting the channel. I just want to give you a little heads up of what to expect in the coming week or so. As I said, the Good Friday Massacre will be getting covered. A couple of player reactions as well. And then the more I learn about the playoffs, with your help, I hope, how it all works and what is actually going to be happening in terms of like hubs, teams isolating away from ordinary people, how they go about doing that. If anybody can give me some sort of information in the comment section, or steer me in the right direction at least, and how I can find more information on that, that would be greatly appreciated, because I want to be able to share this info on the channel and have more in-depth discussions about it in the coming weeks to months, obviously, as it all gets going again. Anybody who's actually wondering what the hell I'm talking about here, check out what I do on the AFL. The AFL, Aussie Rules, is a sport I absolutely fell in love with, and this is down to doing this channel, or the other channel, sorry, but same idea, doing reactions. But now, anybody from Oz will back me here. I really do try my best to learn as much about that sport as possible for everybody's sort of good viewing for everybody if I do that, isn't it? And for my own pleasure as well, because you want to know what the hell you're talking about when you're putting yourself out there in the public domain, if you know what I mean. I appreciate everybody's got opinions, and I also appreciate when I put them out there, it's not always going to be right and people are going to debate it, but I welcome that. I really do welcome debate. Sport and debate go hand in hand, and it should always be the case. But as I say, refrain from being name calling, all the rest of it, because I know for a fact keyboard warriors out there, if I was sat out in the car park right now, this would not be said to my face, and if it was, we could act like men and sort it out in typical hockey fashion. Fuck the gloves down, shit the mitts, as somebody told me. I absolutely love that saying. He shit the mitts. Brilliant stuff. But anyway, thanks very much, everyone. That's the last bit of the message anyway. Thanks very much for the support. I hope you'll keep enjoying the content that we're releasing. And as I said, it'll be more than just reactions, because I do pride myself in that. And the podcast idea for talking about different sports is exactly where I plan on bringing this channel down the line. Cheers, everyone, and I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye.